Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Fox 26 After Show. Thank you for joining us here. It's been a fun-filled and busy Tuesday morning. We've got Melissa Wilson, we've got Mike Iskovitz, and we've got Chelsea joining us. But first up, Melissa, I know you've got a great interview you've got to get to, so we're going to go to you first. Melissa, what's up?
Hey there. Yes, I'm actually about to do a story with Texas Children's Hospital. It's going to be a fascinating story because it's about a cancer patient who is going on to study in school what she learned at the hospital, and that was being a child care specialist, and that's a child life specialist, and that's someone who comes in when these kids are going through the hardest time of their life. They might put a pamper on a bear or put a Band-Aid on their arm on a stuffed animal and just show them that everything's going to be okay. And so it's going to be a fun story. Also for tomorrow, I'm working on Lunch for the Soul, so I hope you'll join me tomorrow morning because that is going to be just a truly inspirational story of a young man who was really at the end of his life, but his sister steps up and saves the day by donating her kidney. And this is what's so remarkable about this woman. She ran a full marathon 4 months after having one of her kidneys removed and giving it to her brother and saving his life. And so talk about, just unbelievable. I would love to be able to run a marathon anytime in life, but after having a major surgery like that just blows my mind. So just another day of inspirational HealthWorks coming your way, Ruben. And I have to tell you, we have loved your plumber stories all morning. You always come up with the most unique ideas.
Well, you're very kind for saying that, Melissa. Go on and get out of here. I know you got to get to work on that. And guys, if you haven't seen any of Melissa Wilson's pieces lately, they just get better and better. Best medical reporter in the game right there.
I love that. Thank you, Ruben.
Have a good one. All right, we're gonna keep it going, guys. We're gonna go over to Miss Chelsea Edwards right now. Chelsea, what are you working on?
Well, first, I will ditto that on Melissa's health reporting, her medical reporting, because it's awesome. And I just happen to get the chance to be here at the Baylor College of Medicine Human Genome Sequencing Center, so I know this is right up her alley. We have Ginger Metcalf, who has told me I do not need these glasses and these gloves and all of this, but I refuse to take it off. We've been talking DNA Day. It's National DNA Day, also the 20th anniversary of the completion of the Human Genome Project.
Yes.
Baylor was a huge part of that.
Yes.
And that really kind of like paved the way for a lot of what we know about DNA today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the first time we ever sequenced and completion a human genome. And it's, we take for granted that genomic sequencing is so routine now and it's standard of care in so many settings that just 20 years ago it had never been done for a human.
Yeah, like now we have like all the kits and things. Mm-hmm. Find out your ancestry, find out what kind of diseases you may be susceptible to, or based on your DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've been kind of walking through the process. Mm-hmm. You guys have put me to work. I did a lot of hard work this morning.
Yes, you're an excellent technician.
And so
you definitely have the PPE down.
Oh yes, definitely have this look down. But we talked a little bit about the machines in the last hour. So just touching on, I guess, the advancements. How would you describe like how far we've come as far as like all that processing of DNA?
I mean, it's astronomical, the scale. Like we were talking about earlier, the original Human Genome Project took many years and multiple billions of dollars, billions with a B, to do one genome. Now we're at the point where we can do genomes for much less than $1,000, and we have the capacity in our lab to do over 100,000 per year, 100,000 human genomes. So it's the scale is just it's really taken off. There's a famous graph that's shown in every genomic conference that shows the reduction in cost and the increase in capacity, and being able to respond to that is sort of our challenge as scientists.
Mm-hmm. Using these big old machines and all kinds of things. That's my technical term for it. Okay, so one of the things we didn't get a chance to talk about was the future of DNA technology, because you guys get to see all the things that we don't. So what are you seeing when it comes to what's ahead for us?
Yeah, really I think it's just the democratization of genomic data, making it available to every person, hopefully every person in the world, not only in a clinical setting, but also having that individual be empowered to use that data to impact their care. Like you would understand that you may know intuitively that you have family risk for a disease, but actually having the genetic information at hand to show specifically what interventions would be most actionable or most useful in your particular condition is something that's really valuable, and there's lots of evidence to show that. But to date, it hasn't been something that's been broadly available. But as the cost goes down, as technology improves to be able to hold more data on your phone every day, like you can imagine a world where you may have your genome on your phone and you take it to your doctor and they have your information right there, because your genome is your genome, and so theoretically you could carry it with you for your life and use that information throughout your life to help your care.
Wow, that would be amazing. So we did talk about a project that you all are part of, hoping to get 1 million volunteers.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that one.
Yeah, so this is the National All of Us Research Program. It's an NIH initiative, and really the intent is to sequence, first collect and consent participants from around the country, at least 1 million participants. There's a huge emphasis on diversity of participants and making sure that we represent individuals from all walks of life, all different ethnic backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, different individuals across the country, to make sure that we really have a true representation of America. And the reason that that's important is because this study or this project will enable broad-scale adoption of precision medicine, and we know that it's not a one-size-fits-all. So most data that's out there that's used right now in research is participants from a relatively Anglo-Caucasian background that have kind of informed the information that we know, just because the strategy to collect patients of a diverse background really wasn't there. We didn't place enough emphasis on that early on. We now know how incredibly important that is to have a diverse representation. So All of Us research program is really putting a lot of emphasis on making sure that the participants that make up that program are diverse, so that we know exactly how trends are different across different groups, and we know it's not one size fits all, and we can, when someone comes in, we can make sure that we have information that's actionable to them as an individual.
And by participating, volunteers can actually get more information about what might be in their DNA.
Yeah, so this is a really interesting program, because most research studies that we've conducted over the years are anonymized, where the participant, due to altruism or some other motivation, has agreed to participate in research just for the good of the community or the good of science. In this program, these individuals are certainly doing that because they're making their data available for research, but they also are getting back some information about their health, because we now know enough to be able to return certain information that is actionable to your care. So if you have, a lot of people in the audience may be familiar with the Angelina Jolie BRCA story, where she found out that she had increased risk of breast cancer because of a variant that she had, or a mutation that she had in her DNA. So that's one of the examples of information that gets returned back. And so these are things that that a participant may find useful to their care, so they could get the information, and even though this is a research project, they could at least have that evidence and take it to their doctor to get a confirmatory test and get confirmation from their clinician about how they may act on that.
Okay, so just to sum up some of the work that you're doing, like you might take somebody's DNA who might be at high risk, or might have that, I guess, genetic code where it makes them more likely to have breast cancer. You can compare that to, or something else. You can compare that to somebody who doesn't have those factors, and that'll help you target exactly what part of the DNA that's coming from.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so it really requires thousands and thousands of people and information about those people, coupled with their genomic sequence, to really be able to understand what is the mutation that's causing this change. Like what do we associate with this change, and having that comparison is really valuable, and having that comparison across a broad group of people is even more valuable.
All right. Okay. I don't know what else to say. My brain might explode. I've learned so much today. So I'm going to send it back to you, Ruben.
All right, thanks a lot. Fascinating information. Little glimpse into the future of medicine there, Chelsea. Thank you for that. All right, I'm staring out the window right now, and the sun is out. It looks like a beautiful day, but is it going to stay that way? Mike Iskovitz joining us. Weatherize us, man. What can we look forward to?
Okay, well, let's get weatherized. That might be a good album title, don't you think? weatherized. Well, let's talk about it.
100.
So it is getting it's getting kind of warm out there right now because of the breaking of the clouds here across at least the Houston and Katy and Sugar Land area. Temperatures are up into the 70s, even mid-70s as you head to Galveston and Bay City. We'll probably see some spots in the low 80s today. If you're caught under that overcast up there around places like Huntsville and Livingston, you have a few showers coming down, you're still in the 60s. Bottom line today is that we're going to get warm, upper 70s, some low 80s, and then we'll wait on the chance for some evening thunderstorms to possibly roll in. So opening things up a little bit, this is the severe storm outlook today. The yellow area is the higher risk. The green area is the slight risk, and that does include our neck of the woods. So today we're going to keep an eye on what forms out to our west around Austin and San Antonio. That could influence our forecast later on today. I didn't go huge rain chances today, though. 30% today. It does go up to about 50% tonight, however. And then tomorrow, the emphasis shifts to the north, where there could be some storms producing hail and damaging winds and just all of the above from around Round Rock all the way up to Dallas-Fort Worth and back over to Texarkana. Most of that stays to our north, but we could see some quick-moving storms rolling in. So got to keep an eye out for that. All right, so here is a look at the futurecast for today. Notice we stay relatively quiet here, heading into the early to mid part of the afternoon, and then those storms start to form out to our west. Some of those could be strong or maybe even severe, and then they may slip through here. You see they're heading into this evening. Tomorrow also is a bit complicated, with storms possibly zipping through the area at times tomorrow morning before everything clears out, and we'll probably end up hitting the mid-80s tomorrow before we see a line of storms come in Thursday. A lot to soak up, I know. So here's the outlook on your 7-day. Upper 70s today, 30% rain chance. Evening storms are expected. Tomorrow we reach the mid-80s, should be pretty muggy, setting the stage for some storms on Thursday at about 60%, and then heading into Friday, it looks mostly sunny and about 82 degrees, and then Saturday, a quick moving line of showers should be followed by some nice weather for Sunday. Ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, Ruben. So that's what we have going on for today. So I don't know. What else you want to talk about? We got 5 minutes left, Ruben. Yesterday, we we had the return of Shadon on the chat. I don't know if she's with us, but I kind of teased her that she was probably back from Tahiti or something, and she corrected me. She was back from the Bahamas. So must be nice, living the life. Long time watcher, long time viewer. Mike, thanks for the update, buddy. I appreciate that, and always on point with your weather forecasting. Well, I try.
Chief Meteorologist Mike Iskovitz there, folks. All right, so y'all are wondering, what was Ruben up to today? Maybe you're not wondering. I'm going to tell you anyway. All right, so we're at John Moore Plumbing today. We're at the HQ. Today is National Plumber's Day, or National Hug a Plumber Day. So we found out a whole bunch of interesting stuff. Basically, there is a need for new plumbers. This is a trade that has gone a little bit by the wayside. We know there's a new renewed interest in welding and HVAC and electrician work. Plumbers right up there with them, man, and you can make yourself a pretty darn good career doing it. We learned a lot of interesting things here. They do tours for 4th and 5th graders here, kind of letting them know just some of the basics and what plumbers do and where your water comes from and where your water goes when it leaves your house. And that's kind of like letting these kids know a little bit behind the scenes, and maybe as they grow up, they're like, you know what? I'd like to do that. I learned about this stuff today. This is not a hula hoop. This is actually what they call PEX. And, a lot of folks, especially in the Houston area, you're living in an older home. We've had these kind of freak ice storms and a couple of days a year now, or we'll dip in below freezing and stay there. What happens? We keep hearing about all these pipes bursting. Well, this stuff is designed to withstand all sorts of conditions like that, from heat to cold, and basically, they don't even have to pull the old pipe out of your house now. They can just run this through the walls and see it's kind of small actually, but it does the trick. This is the new state-of-the-art stuff. It is called PEX, and if you need a plumber, make sure you're working with a licensed professional, not some fly-by-night dude that you met in a parking lot somewhere. You know, make sure you're going with the real deal. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the after show. I know folks have got stuff to do. You know, I want to wish everybody a wonderful Tuesday. We'll see you right back here on the live stream tomorrow. See you later, guys. Have a wonderful day.